I have a question to ask you guys, and maybe this is a little embarrassing because I've nodded my head as you've talked about this topic in the past, and I had no idea what we were talking about. So,
Confessional.
Matter has been brought up quite a few times. I know there was something about Matter that happened pretty recently. I don't know what it is, like pretty much at all.
Okay.
So, do you have any idea, Marcus?
No, that's fair. It's kind of in a background development for me, and I feel like I basically just know what it's supposed to be, which is, okay, we have a bunch of different smart home ecosystems. They run on their own standards or protocols, or they talk to each other. And in the future, there should be a universal protocol where they all talk to each other. They all need to have this radio or whatever, where they all talk to each other. And then the ecosystem walls are broken down and everything is happy and harmonious.
All right. I know David knows like all about it. So
how wrong am I, please?
Every time Marquez is like, I heard about this kind of a little bit once.
Am I kind of right?
I don't know if I know about it. Here's the perfect explanation.
Oh, well.
I wanted to cue this up as kind of like yes, no, where like, but Marquez is definitely on the
It's
maybe,
like
maybe yes. I'm at no, and I want
Detail.
David to explain it to us
There's
and us to
detail.
try and explain it back after.
Our reply all.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
tribute.
Professor David,
Yes.
please explain in a longer form.
Okay.
What does matter and does it matter?
It absolutely matters
Okay, perfect.
if it works.
Okay.
So everyone's hoping it works. Okay. So currently in the smart home ecosystem, right? Way back when Amazon Alexa was first invented and the Echo came out, and it was like one of the first smart home products that was available, right? Amazon had to create something that would allow the Echo devices to talk to smart home stuff, right?
Yep.
This is not dissimilar to the fact that Tesla made its own charger because there was not a charging standard at the time. And now we have this kind of mess where Tesla has its own charger and then there's ChatEmo and all this stuff. right?
Lightning, USB-C. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
So as the smart home ecosystem built out and players like Apple with HomeKit and Google with Google Assistant came onto the market, they kind of just like made their own stuff. And so now when you go to the store, when you go to Best Buy or like some store and you buy smart home stuff, there's all these labels on the boxes that say like works with Alexa, works with Google Assistant, works with Apple HomeKit. And this is a big problem for a lot of reasons because you can't just go out and like buy smart lights now. You have to be like, okay, well, what's my beacon device that I'm using as my main voice assistant to percolate this stuff throughout my house, right? And so much like you said, Matter is a protocol that is supposed to unify all of these things into one thing because they all currently use different protocols to interact. You might know the Hue has like these bridges.
Yep.
Those bridges are a way for it to work with many different protocols because it's like a Rosetta Stone. It's like a translator or a Babelfish. Like one of those protocols gets sent, it hits the bridge, and then that converts it into the other protocol that needs to be used for the light or whatever.
Okay.
Right? So Matter is like amazing because 300 plus companies that make smart home equipment, including Google, Apple, Amazon, and then like all of the main smart home accessory players like TP-Link and like all these guys came together and they say, okay, cool. We're all going to use Matter because they realized that while there are many benefits to having walled gardens, there is also limits to having walled gardens. You know?
Yep.
If you are trying to make an Apple HomeKit house, but you can only use so many accessories for that Apple HomeKit house, but you want to buy this one accessory that only works with Google Assistant, maybe you think about moving over to Google Assistant. So Apple actually does have some incentive to actually go out and support this ubiquitous ecosystem.
Okay.
Right? Now, the really cool thing, this is not dissimilar to how the internet was formed in the first place, right? It's basically Matter used to be called CHIP, which is Connected Home over IP. And if you know anything about internet protocols, that's really awesome because it basically means that all of this stuff is coming through just one singular protocol that is coming through your home. So one fundamental part of Matter is called Thread.
I was just about to ask because I keep hearing. I literally just Googled what is Thread because I remember that it's a thing that's connected to Matter. Okay.
Yeah. So Matter is actually just an application layer that's sitting over Wi-Fi plus Thread, and Thread is this really awesome thing that basically allows each individual smart home device to be its own little beacon. So they're all communicating with each other. Because the current way that things work are you go to your Google Nest Hub and you say, hey, turn on the light in my bedroom. And that Nest Hub has to connect to the internet, send that data to a Google server somewhere, send it back to your home Wi-Fi, ping it off your Wi-Fi, hit the light, and then turn on the light. But Thread is basically you're making your own little intranet mesh network. And the reason it's called Thread, if you could think about this, is that you have all these little devices and they're all communicating with each other.
Yeah.
So like this light is going to this smart audio speaker, which is going to this. And there's kind of like data being sent through all of these devices at the same time to each other. So it's more secure because you have your own little intranet. It's way faster.
Faster, yeah. Okay.
Way faster, which is great for like smart lights, right?
Yeah.
Because now you don't say, turn on my light, and then it's like, ding.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of instant.
As soon as it recognizes the command, it sends it.
Yeah. And the amazing thing about something like Matter is say you are using Amazon Alexa and you have an Echo in your home, but you really want to use like a Google Nest Audio for your music. Now you can tell Alexa to play music on your Google Nest Audio.
Okay. So I'm building this analogy in my head, kinda. And it's how I'm going to try to understand it all.
Yeah.
Which is like virtual ports. So, you know, we have Lightning and USB-C and mini USB, whatever. So I'm imagining like, you know, Alexa's or Amazon's ecosystem, they all used one imaginary port to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And then made for iPhone or HomeKit was a different port. So now if you wanted to use things from two different ecosystems, they'd have different ports on them. And so something like the Philips Hue bridge would be like a box with all of the ports on it, where it's like an adapter, and it would plug into two different things, which is kind of cool. And then it does make sense now if this new big universal port is coming along to support it. Do they also, I guess, continue to support their own individual standards along the side? I guess it's fine. But if everything supports Matter, then it's whatever.
I believe they can. So a lot of devices are going to be launching from this month going forward that will have the little Matter logo on it, which just means you can just set it up super fast and it's really awesome and easy. But a lot of companies have committed to updating their devices to also support Matter in the future.
Oh, that's good.
You should still check on the companies that are doing that though, and also look at their like reliability and how likely they are to actually do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and like devices will be able to work with Matter, but automations and things like that still rely on the individual ecosystem. Okay. So if you have like a routine or something, that's still going to rely on like the Google Hub or the Apple HomeKit situation.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great because it's way faster, it's more secure, and then everything's like a mesh network too, which is cool. So if you have your Google Nest Hub in one room, and then you've got a random Philips Hue bulb in the next room, and then the next room past that, you've got some Wise bulb. Even if that Wise bulb was not like able to connect directly to your Google Nest Hub, because there's devices in between, they literally work as mesh networks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. My current smart home situation, it's fine, and it works okay because I have a bunch of accessories that all have Google's virtual port, if you will. But they are still annoying because Nest does make their own like mesh network based on their own protocol. And so like I was trying to connect my lock on the back door the other day, and it kept trying to use the doorbell on my front door as the mesh network thing, so it wanted to be connected to both at once, and I was running back and forth from the back door to the front door to try to be close enough to get my phone to pair to both of them so that they would talk to each other.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare.
So ironically, the Nest, the old Nest before Nest got bought by Google, they were the ones that actually got this in motion.
Yeah.
Because they wanted this to happen. I think there used to be the Zigbee Alliance, and Zigbee was supposed to be the like connecting thread thing.
Sounds like a Muppet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Sorry.
Matter sounds cooler.
The
Yeah.
Zigbee Alliance is
Yeah.
amazing. Okay.
Yeah, but now it's like the connected something alliance. Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, so they're just trying to get. And so anyway, the news. So this has been in the works for like quite a while, and it was originally supposed to launch, I think, in 2020, and then it got delayed, and then it was going to launch last year, and then it got delayed, and then it was going to launch in June of this year, and then it got delayed again. But the SDK actually dropped like this week, which is amazing. Which means there could be a lot of different companies that have been ready to just like ship products that are Matter compatible, and they have the boxes printed and everything's ready for the holiday season. They've just been waiting for Matter to actually drop the official SDK so that they can use it. But expect to see some products on the holiday shelves coming out for this year that have the logo. And then you should look up like a list of products that are either updating or have committed to updating.
By the way, that logo, just because I looked it up because I didn't know what it is, it looks like 3 curved arrows pointing inwards.
Yeah, which I think that's
Is
the
that
idea.
the best way of?
It makes
Okay.
sense. Makes sense.
Just in case you don't have, you're in the car, you can't see what this looks
Yeah.
like, and you're going to Best Buy and you see this now.
I think that's sort of the idea. It's like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Apple HomeKit, and they're all just like pointing towards each other.
Yeah, that's funny. That was the premise of my home tech video when I made it. And I got a couple of comments that were very highly rated, which was, oh, there's this one service that lets you connect all 3 of them. And it's like, it's kind of a hack, but it kind of works. And you can actually use things from HomeKit and Google Assistant all in the same thing.
Yeah.
And it now sounds like this is actually going to be a tenable solution for like most people to get just whatever they want.
The fact that you can just go to the store and just buy smart home equipment and just use it. And the setup process is also supposed to be way easier. Matter is trying to get everybody to have like just a QR code on their box, and it sets up through Matter too. But you choose you still choose like the voice assistant that you want to use, and you have to use that voice assistant for everything. But the fact that you can play music on your Nest Audio from your Alexa speaker, like that's pretty dope.
lit.
You know what's pretty cool too? It's completely open source.
Yeah.
Which is like all these giant private companies that had their own situation going on.
How do they get them to agree on this?
That's what
is
I'm
like
saying.
the most incredible thing ever.
The research that I did, like from what I understand, it's literally that they saw like limits to their walled gardens.
We can't get enough. Like Apple was like, yeah, there's a good amount of HomeKit stuff, but look at that Alexa stuff over there. There's so many good things that we don't have and people aren't making for HomeKit. What if we could get that supported so people would use Siri more often?
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
They want to use their service way more often, so they're willing to let all of these third parties just like work with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember Quinn's smart home video maybe like a year ago? Like there are so many hacks and stuff in there because HomeKit seems to be a couple steps behind in terms of like products that work well with it. So I feel like this is awesome for people who use HomeKit.
Yeah.
Amazon, to me, it would always be like Amazon has the biggest selection, but the most variance in quality.
Yeah.
HomeKit has the smallest selection, but the highest overall quality of things. And then Google is somewhere in the middle with like some Nest stuff, and stuff kind of usually works with Google Assistant. I think we're going to probably do another Assistant comparison video. I still like Google Assistant the best, so I just want to use the Google Assistant stuff, and that locks me out of the good HomeKit stuff.
Are we all Google Assistant people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I'm
so.
using at home.
Yeah.
Same? Yeah.
Google Assistant, I mean, traditionally at least, has been like the best in terms of like asking you questions.
I love
it
Google.
does stuff locally, and
Yeah.
And I would just rather use Google for those kind of things, because if you're just asking questions from the internet, Google is obviously the one to go
Yeah,
to.
very fair.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
matters.
awesome. I've just been like waiting for this forever, and the news has been trickling out, and I've, like Andrew said, I've randomly dropped like, oh, but Matter will fix this, like on the podcast.
I definitely, it was like 2 podcasts ago, you're just like, something matter. And I was like, yeah, man.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, now that
Can't
we
wait.
know, it does sound really good.
No, I'm pumped. I'm most pumped for the fact that it's just like within itself and things might happen faster. I'm so tired of being like, hey, G word, like turn on the lights, and then I walk like all the way into this still dark room, and then the lights pop on.
Yeah.
for me
I
or
also
something.
have 2 Philips Hue lights, and I don't have a Philips Hue bridge. So every time I walk into that room, I have to open the Philips Hue app to turn those lights on. And I'm so tired.
Okay.
Yeah, the Philips Hue bridges will be updated, but future Philips Hue bulbs will not even need them.
Okay, I'm just going to throw out all my Philips
because
Hue
of
stuff.
Thread, because everything's a mesh network, right?
Oh, but in theory, they can update my Philips Hue lamps
yes,
to support Matter.
Matter. Yeah,
I hope they do. As many things as possible, update them.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
How often do you change? Sorry, this is kind of sidetracked, but
Sure.
how often do you change the colors of your Philips Hue bulbs?
Almost never.
Get a smart switch. It's so much better
That's
than
I've
a
heard
smart
about.
light bulb.
I've heard that.
Smart switch.
So like rather than in my house, I got rid of all my smart light bulbs and I have a smart switch so I can still physically turn the switch off all the time without affecting if I can use my voice command. Now,
I should
think
do that.
It's so much better.
They're lamps.
Oh, they're lamps.
But that's fine though if the switch
still
talks
do
to the
that.
lamps.
okay.
Yeah. Because it's just a room with like one light in the middle.
Oh, yeah,
so I
yeah.
use the lamps to like light up the room.
Yeah.
And if I just have a switch on the wall that just turns the lamps on, I don't care about the color.
Yeah.
Just turn them on.
Yeah.
That'd be
The
The
great.
cool about thing that too is that you could use one switch to turn on a whole group of lamps, right?
Yeah, it'd be 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
That'd be cool. So I'm going to get a bunch of smart plugs, but I'm currently waiting to see what over the next like week or two, there should be official smart plugs like dropping with Matter.
Okay.
I'm
so
excited. I'm
I want
ready.
to buy Matter supported every
I'm
just
just
got
going to keep
excited.
using candles to light my apartment.
Smart candles?
No.
Can't even. Are they even RGB candles? Like
RGB candles.
What is this?
Someone replied, I tweeted that I just want way more lamps in my life. And then yesterday I bought 7 different lamps. And someone said, what?
You brought 7 lamps.
Bro,
Were any of them from IKEA?
Oh my god.
no.
IKEA has great lamps.
Okay, they were so weird and so cool. I got this one that's like it's like a gyroscope globe. You know, the like weird like rotating around itself kind of thing.
Does it move?
Where's the light?
No. It's just in the center of the globe.
Oh, it moves around it?
It doesn't actually move. It just looks
It
cool.
just looks like it should move.
It was $30. I don't know. I don't expect
$30.
that.
I wouldn't expect it to move.
That's fair.
But I'm going to buy a bunch of smart plugs. I'm just waiting for Matter supported smart plugs.
Smart plug or smart bulb?
I bought a bunch of dumb bulbs that are the exact color temperature that I want
Okay.
because I'm not someone that would change the
So smart plug
color.
for that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited for a whole new category of tech.
Yes, and
That's
thank you
sick.
for explaining it to us.
Thank you for that.
Now I know.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. We appreciate you. Hope you got your badges all sorted out on Twitter. I think for this clip's outro, though, let's throw it to the producer cam.
Like and subscribe.
15% of my diet is Cholula.
That'll do it.